Hey everyone, Kyle Walker here. If you love cars, fixing things, or just want to understand your vehicle better, you're in the right place. I share hands-on tips, smart driving advice, and straight-up car talk without the fluff. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and stick around till the end. You don't want to miss what's coming up. Let's get into it.
Although it is an inanimate means of transportation, just like a person, has a passport that certifies its existence. Every car owner knows that the technical passport is a fundamental document that the driver of the car must have for the legal operation of the car to present it to the employees of executive bodies on the road on demand. Previously, this was the only certificate that legally allowed to operate the car. However, over the years the situation has changed. To the technical passport was added a paper called the certificate of the vehicle. This situation is a little confused even experienced car owners. Some do not understand the meaning of the issuance of two similar, in name and purpose certificates, their functional significance and difference. In this article we will try to understand what these documents are, from the legal point of view, what is the difference between them, and whether it is necessary to have both specifications with you in everyday use of the car, or it is enough to present one of the reporting elements to law enforcement officers on the roads. Concept and nuances. In order to understand the functional meaning of the documents and their differences, it is necessary to initially understand for oneself what the PTS and STS of a car are, the concept of the legislative meaning of which predetermines the need for their receipt and further operation. Initially, it is necessary to know that both documents act as identifiers of strict accountability, are made on special, certified forms, equipped with different level protective elements. The vehicle passport, regardless of its category and class affiliation, nowadays, as many years ago, is the main document containing information about the technical parameters of the vehicle, its model, individual identifiers, color, chronology of ownership. The technical passport is automatically assigned to the car at the manufacturing plant and is delivered to the buyer as a set, provided that the vehicle is purchased through official suppliers. When the purchased vehicle is of export origin, the technical documentation is executed in custom structures, and if the car is subjected to serious modification, the organization that carries out the conversion, the consumer, must issue an updated passport established by the legislation of the sample. In order to avoid confusion with the documentation, PTS are numbered in the order established by the regulatory rules. Each form has an individual code, which is a series and number. The most important points in the form are the following information data: vehicle identification number, or VIN code, which is entered according to international standards and contains the main data about the car, country, and manufacturer, which mostly duplicate the data encoded in the code. The only exceptions are situations when the car was combined from components of different cars. Otherwise, the discrepancy of data should alert the buyer, as the origin of the car may be illegal. All owners of the vehicle. This determines the possibility of tracing the history of the car, and too frequent change of owners should alert the potential buyer, as this situation may indicate the fact of certain problems with it. Distinctive marks. The technical passport is considered to be one of the primary documents of the car owner, allowing to carry out legal operations with the property, namely to register, sell, rent, approve a loan or lease. STS, which is interpreted as a vehicle certificate, is no less important document, is issued to the owner of the car directly by the traffic police when the car is registered. The document is issued by the car owner within 10 days after the acquisition of the movable property. The basis for registration of the STS are the papers issued to the buyer during the sale and purchase transaction and the passport of the purchased car. After the client fills out the application, the documents are checked by authorized persons, the information is checked against databases, and all the nuances are reconciled for the presence of discrepancies. The car owner receives a registration certificate issued directly to the owner of the car. The certificate contains data that are duplicated from the PTS, as well as up-to-date information about the actual owner of the car. Its registration occurs according to the internal order of the Ministry of Internal Affairs of Russia on the order of registration of vehicles, with the serial number 1001, regulates the possibility of tracking the number and specifics of sales of movable property, the creation of an up-to-date register of car owners. Read also, STS of the driver, a document that must always be in the car. Principal differences between documents. The presented information shows that each of the documentary forms contains duplicate information about the car and owners. An adequate question arises: if the informational similarity is so great in the PTS and STS documents, what is the difference between these legal forms? Let us further consider in detail the principal differences between the documentary forms, consisting in informational, legal, and functional character. The main differences between PTS and STS are as follows. A differential feature of the documents is their visual difference. The PTS is a blue-colored sheet of A4 format, while the STS is executed in the format of a laminated card of pink shade. The first document, issued directly to the car, contains exhaustive information about the movable property. The second form is issued to the current owner of the car. It displays important information about the vehicle in a shortened format. The place of issuance of the PTS is the manufacturer or the seller selling the car, the customs office, in case the car is imported across the border. In extremely rare circumstances, loss or theft of the passport, a duplicate document may be issued by the State Road Traffic Safety Inspectorate. STS is issued exclusively at the embryo when the car is registered. The technical passport is a lifetime document of the car. It does not change when the owner of the car changes. Registration certificate is a form that certifies not only the data about the means of transportation, but also about its current owner, so it is subject to scheduled replacement when the legal owner changes. Scope of use. PTS is used in the registration of the purchase and sale of property. Registration activities can be the subject of collateral when taking a loan. The certificate must be presented when drawing up insurance documents and policies for the car, as well as routine checks by traffic police officers on the roads, which obliges the car owner to carry the document with him at all times. Is it obligatory to have both documents in the car's interior when using it? Having considered the specific features of the documents and their fundamental differences, we can proceed to the search for an answer to the questions whether it is necessary to carry a passport and a certificate regularly with us. What will be the result of the absence of at least one form during the inspection of the car on the road by traffic police officers for the car owner? Whether it is possible to drive on the PTS instead of the STS, and in what situations? Based on the scope of use of documents and analysis of the legislative framework, the presentation of a passport is necessary only in situations involving actions related to the prerogatives of possession of a means of transportation or registration operations. Accordingly, the law does not oblige the car owner to present the document to the GIBDD structures during scheduled inspections, which allows driving without a PTS. According to the legal obligations, the MTPL policy and STS are indispensable for submission to the traffic police officers. The absence of a certificate from the car owner when traveling on public roads provides for administrative punishment, which in 2018 is predetermined by a fine with a minimum amount of 500 rubles and the seizure of the car until the full resolution of the issue by evacuating it to the impound lot. Accordingly, there is no need to carry the vehicle's technical passport and certificate with you all the time. The car owner must always have the STS, and it is better to keep the PTS at home in order to avoid its loss. The question of whether it is possible to drive with the PTS instead of the STS if, due to a number of certain factors, the driver does not have the certificate, has a not so unambiguous answer. Often such a situation implies the driver's phrases forgot, at home, or lost. The fact of a forgotten at home or lost document does not remove the owner from responsibility. It is automatically considered that this document is not available. For this there is a punitive penalty. Even in the case of a lost registration document on the road, it will be much cheaper for the driver to call a tow truck, transport the car to a parking lot or garage, and start operating it only after the documentation is restored. Despite these specific responsibilities and rights of the driver, there are some exceptions to the rules. For example, a positive answer to the question whether it is possible to use the PTS instead of the STS, the legislation provides for a 10-day period after the purchase of the vehicle. During this period, the owner has the right to use the car. However, is obliged to issue a certificate registering the property within the time period stipulated by law in the MREO. If the car is stopped by inspectors before the expiration of this period, the driver only needs to present the PTS and a document confirming that the vehicle was purchased not more than 10 days ago. Read also, how to return the driver's license early after the deprivation of driving license accordingly, legal and permissible from a legal standpoint is to drive exclusively on the STS, but if you intend to make a long trip with the crossing of the borders of the region, it is also desirable to take the PTS with you. The problem lies in the following. The owner of the car may be in trouble in case of unforeseen situations on the road, such as traffic accidents, against which no one, even the most experienced and careful driver, can be insured. If there is a need for technical expertise, for example, in case of an accident, the PTS is a mandatory document. And one more nuance. You should refrain from buying used cars on the secondary market, which are sold without a PTS or a duplicate passport. The duplicate could be obtained by fraudulent manipulations, which threatens the owner along with the purchase of transport problems. With the legalization of the machine, or the danger of buying a car that is in pledge. Let's summarize. A car, like other expensive property, requires a responsible attitude to itself, especially in terms of legalization and registration of documents confirming ownership. The most important documents for a car are STS and PTS, which allow you to dispose of the means of transportation at your discretion and actively use it. The forms differ not only visually, but also functionally, so every owner must understand when and under what circumstances you need one or another document, or their combination, to avoid problems with the law. This article allows you to understand the nuances of the use of documents, their distinctive features, which will help to avoid problems with the law, to operate your vehicle legally and without fear. In conclusion, understanding the legislative concepts of Car PTS and STS is essential for anyone navigating the automotive landscape. While both documents serve critical functions in vehicle registration and ownership verification, their differences highlight the unique roles they play in ensuring compliance with legal standards. The PTS, or Vehicle Passport, provides a comprehensive overview of a vehicle's history and specifications, while the STS, or Vehicle Title, serves as proof of ownership. Recognizing these distinctions not only aids in smoother transactions, but also enhances awareness of the legal obligations associated with vehicle ownership. As we move forward, staying informed about these documents will empower individuals and businesses alike to make better decisions in the automotive sector. Thank you for watching, and we hope this video has clarified the significance of Car PTS and STS for you.